Na 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 moonlight, na 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 in the sky, na 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 you say, na 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 popcorn, na 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 moonlight, na 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 in the sky, na 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 you say, na 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 popcorn.
What's up, Slumpbusters? It is time for episode 6, season 3 of our Cobra Kai review series. And I gotta say, we're on a hot streak. We've had 3 solid episodes in a row, and this is part of them. Very well-balanced episode. Each of the storylines are awesome. There's some badass moments. There's some funny moments. There's some heartfelt moments. There's a lot of good stuff going on in here. I guess, C-Money, one of my first questions for you is just going to be, what's your favorite scene out of this?
Ooh. So you told me yours. I definitely don't want to steal yours.
Okay, fair enough. War flashbacks, maybe? No?
The war flashback was pretty sick. But the part that made me like laugh the hardest in this episode was when the snake comes out of the car, and then the other salesman jumps on Louis, and Louis like, "Come on, man, stop being a bitch."
Okay, we'll get back to that one since that's like the big close for the episode. But I will say that does leave a lot of questions to be answered. We'll come across that. And why did we have a snake in a car? Obviously, my first scene, my big scene. So Cris starts off this episode. We get a little bit of some war flashbacks going on. Kind of gives you an idea of how hard-nosed Cris is. We get to learn about his karate master, his captain. And then that kind of is his inspiration for recruiting the best, getting some natural athletes. And it feels more natural for Cris to steer towards natural athletes, given his style of Cobra Kai. You know, you want to get the best. So getting a guy like Kyler makes sense. Getting that 30-year-old woman that he recruited, that I'm pretty sure that after karate practice, she has to go pick up her kids from school.
She did look super old, man.
Sometimes they hit, sometimes they miss when they're casting these teen athletes, but these teen actors. But like, I would say that one's a miss for me. It's like Emma Stone still being a high schooler in her 40s, but still. Okay.
Even Andrew Garfield, I think he was like 35.
Exactly. Some people age more gracefully than others. I would also say the same goes for Brooks as well. A lot of guys returning from season 1. And speaking of Brooks, you mentioned it. You don't want to steal my favorite scene in here. But is there a more badass moment in Cobra Kai than Hawk establishing his dominance? As soon as that gi comes off and the tat is shown, oh, the fear of God is in Brooks's face, and Kyler knows what's up too.
Oh yeah, dude. As soon as they brought up Lip, I was like, oh no, like Hawk is done with that. He's done with being called Lip. He's now Hawk. You have to call him Hawk now. And I just love how he showed that to them in this episode.
Oh, that moment where he like has a slow-mo spit coming out of his mouth, and he might as well have just told with Brooks with his eyes, clean yourself up.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then he goes up to Kyler too and just mad dogs him and is like, call me Lip again. Call me Lip. I want
Kyler,
you to do it. Come on.
Kyler didn't even want to look him in the eye. That's how scared he was.
He's like awesome. The Joker standing in the middle of the street, like with Batman on the motorcycle, like, come on, I want you to hit me. I want you to hit me. Come on. That's exactly how Hawk was in that moment. Like, seriously, if you're still rooting for Hawk, this is one of those scenes that makes you actually love Hawk, even coming off the Dimitri arm break.
Yeah, like the Dimitri part was a dick move, but this was like, okay, it's about time that this dude got what was coming to him. It was about time.
Yeah, just wipe that smug off his face. Okay, well, let's see here. Also in that training sequence, there's a great moment with Tori too, like speaking to that 30-year-old woman, where she's like, you chipped my tooth, bitch. And he's like, you needed braces anyway. I love that fucking line.
Tori's savage, man.
Oh, that was
savage.
That was the perfect thing. Like you just see that smile on Cris's face too. The actor Martin Coe's face just is in that moment. I think he almost wanted to laugh himself in that scene. All right. Well, that's like one of the good things going on with Cris here. And again, the war flashbacks are awesome too. Daniel's back from Japan. So we're finally back with all our main characters in America and the main storyline. And we learned about something we didn't know before. No, not another secret Miyagi-Do technique, but that there are apparently soy sauce flavored Kit Kats. What's the deal with that? I gotta ask, Japan, what are you doing these days? What magic is soy sauce flavored Kit Kats? Is it good? Is it bad? If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments.
I really want to know what that tastes like. Even Daniel gave a remark like, "Oh yeah, I didn't think it was actually gonna work, but it works."
It sounds like a nightmare to me. I just don't think soy sauce when I think Kit Kats, and I certainly don't think Kit Kats when I think soy sauce.
Well, it's like I told you earlier. Last time I went to World's Market, they're selling matcha green tea Kit Kats.
But that makes sense to me. Matcha's sweet. It's not like this salty mess. Like too much soy sauce is a bad thing. It's also bad for the sodium levels. Honestly, your cardiologist might not love it. But
and then also Kit Kat, please, if you're listening, please bring that flavor to America without having to pay the import tax on it.
I think that might be a little tough. There's a lot of tariffs going on these days. So yeah, Kit Kat, whatever you can do, make that magic happen. I just want to know what it tastes like. Or someone send it to me. Either way, whatever comes first. Listeners, I'm talking to you directly. Okay. One of the better scenes, though, one of the better storylines going on in this, again, is some more Miguel, Johnny stuff, some good stuff going on there. Johnny basically has to tell Miguel, tell your legs to stop being pussies and start standing. So there's a moment too, because Johnny's actually gained some advice from Miguel too, because we get some Allie interaction in this episode as well. And Johnny's writing up a book for her. I love how Miguel has to chime in. Is like, you might want to cut this down a little bit, or take some photos. And I would say this: I really hope this is true. I hope those are actual William Zabka headshots that he took in like the 80s. That they use.
All right.
I feel like they have to be, right?
I feel like they have to be too, and you can tell that the writers of the show probably made fun of them for that. Probably like, dude, like this is too extra.
Well, it's not like William Zabka had a huge acting career besides Cobra Kai, so I'm sure that some of those were just kind of used whenever he was kind of shopping around his look for future movie roles. So I love that the actors can make fun of themselves with this one too. Anytime you see some of the old photos, it's like, oh, I think the actors are using their old stuff. But so that's some good stuff. There's also this moment too where they're obviously in the sushi thing. So they're recreating all of Allie's photos. And I know you're a big time sushi fan. How pissed were you when Johnny spit that up?
Dude, I was pissed, man. He doesn't know how much sushi costs, and it looked amazing.
Well, he paid for it, so that's his loss.
I'd be so mad though if I was eating sushi with him and I was enjoying it, and all of a sudden he spits all over it.
Well, it's a good thing. Yeah, well, it's a good thing that Allie and him in a future episode, spoiler, don't go to a sushi restaurant. Anyway, this leads to a Tori Miguel interaction. Miguel basically says hey, you can't go all in on Miyagi though because of what happened to me. It was just kind of like one of those random occurrences. This leaves Miguel kind of in a pissy state, but it leads to one of the best scenes in Cobra Kai. So two really good scenes in here, where again they're doing this whole harness trick to try and make Miguel stand. And I guess the key to Miguel standing is he just got to get a little angry, got to get that little Incredible Hulk gene in him, because as soon as he drops that line on Johnny that you're a sensei, you're always a sensei, then boom, moment, and that hug kind of you felt it here. You felt it in the heart.
Yeah. Then going back to the scene with Tori, I like what Miguel says, because Tori pretty much says, well, we all got hurt in this situation, and Miguel was like, no, none of you got hurt. I'm the one in the wheelchair. What the hell? I like that right there. It just shows that I feel like Tori is a little selfish in that situation. She's trying to make it about herself too. And I don't like that. Miguel's the one that's suffering right now.
Let's go back to, again, one of your favorite scenes. So you mentioned the snake coming out of the car and Louie having to jump up or Anoush having to jump up in Louie's arms there. Why is that happening? Oh, it's because Amanda, Daniel, they had a little scheme to do a little squeeze on Cris. Well, Cris doesn't like that. Cris fights back. In fact, I'm so disappointed that we didn't get a chance to see him versus Armand's goons. Oh, that would have been great. I love how he just slips in that little badass line. It's like, I just cleaned blood off that man. Come on, guys. What are you doing?
And I have a question. Doesn't this episode feel a little bit of deja vu? Remember when Daniel tried that with Johnny?
What do you mean?
Tried getting his rent increased so he couldn't afford it.
A little bit,
Yeah.
but I think this one was more final because Amon was gonna just straight up boot him too, and even had it to like get out of here like this episode, you know.
Yeah.
But Cris is having none of it. Cris now knows the war is on. That was kind of like the final nail in the coffin there. So look forward to that in future episodes, obviously. Anyway, as far as like final rating on this one, I gotta agree with you because we're kind of talking this out in the pre-show. I think this is another 5 for me. I think this is a home run. I think this is out of the ballpark because all the storylines worked well. They were perfect. There was not a single filler storyline in here. They're funny. They're badass. They were heartfelt. And I think that that's the key to a perfect episode. That's why it's a 5-star. It's home run. It's long distance. It's gone.
Yeah, I have to agree. A 5-star for sure. Great character development. Great scene with Hawk. Great scene with Miguel and Tori, and then obviously the big breakthrough. Miguel can finally stand, which was amazing to see. You got even more character development with Miguel and Johnny in that scene. It was awesome. This episode was great, and then it's awesome to say that from here on out, I decided that this is definitely the best season of Cobra Kai so far.
Absolutely. In fact, too, just one quick shout out to the score because again, during that Hawk scene, the score really made that scene work. But anyway, guys, let us know what you think in the comments below. Tell us if you've had this Kit Kat flavored soy sauce or whatever, because I gotta know. I gotta know these things. Leave a like on this video, and of course, show no mercy to that subscribe button because we'll see you next time.